the greater champion of justice. Return with us now those thrilling days of yesteryear. On the Masters of the racing beat of the great horse Silver. The Lone Ranger rides again. Oh, Silver! Let's go, big fellow! I am Silver!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is a beautiful Friday night. We got some things to talk about today. I'm just gonna be straight with you guys. Like, I don't have like a whole bunch of links prepared for this one, like I usually do. Got plenty still prepared, but this is gonna be more of my like general takes on things. I'll get to the PPP stuff in a bit. Brief bit of news that came up, quote unquote news. It's not really news. But apparently the infamous YouTuber Leafy is here, a guy who's notorious for making like, I guess videos, trash talking people. He got suspended. I'm kind of ambivalent about it overall. I have two thoughts on this. The first one being that, this whole martyrdom thing that some YouTubers are going on about with Leafy being suspended, it's kind of cringe. Like, the guy getting deplatformed is not your problem. It's not my problem. His financial situation, stuff like that, as far as any of that goes. It's something that Leafy should have accounted for when working with YouTube. That's the first part. That's not to say that like I have any like hate or disrespect towards Leafy's content. I haven't seen a lot of it, but what I have seen, I actually did enjoy. And I did actually like the responses he was getting to the Pokimane video, where he just took the piss out of her, and then people took him seriously and tried to facts and logic him in response. I found that pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie about that at all. But there's also another side to this, because there is still an issue with him being deplatformed. Shows like what I do, or like the type of videos I like to watch when it comes to like drama and just dumb people doing dumb shit on the internet, that's not going to be a thing anymore if this keeps up. So I don't think YouTube should have this strict of a policy against their creators making this sort of thing. And I say all kinds of horrible shit on this show. So yeah, it's probably going to be likely that this channel won't last forever. Eventually, some people are going to like find it, send in reports, and well, it's gone. Not much I can really do about that, but it is unfortunate that that's occurring. That's my general thoughts on that. Like, this sort of issue you've probably heard time after time after time again. Me saying these, my take on that really doesn't matter or mean anything. Leafy will find a new place to call home, and people will follow him there. He has that permanent audience. This could be as simple as him like creating a new YouTube channel and then just like recreating it every time YouTube tries to ban him, or going to BitChute. Maybe he just moves over to DLive, makes some stuff there, and etc. Like, that's just the way it is nowadays. And I'm pretty sure that as time goes on, other sites will fill in the gap because people still want to see this kind of content, and they'll just go to those websites. However, the audience for it will probably be smaller because most people, realistically, at the end of the day, use YouTube and stuff. No, this is not pre-recorded. I just had some thoughts I had to get out of the way. Actually, let me read some comments in the chat before I go into the main topic, which has to do with a little bit of pedophilia. Yeah. Don't we just love talking about that, everyone? Seems to be a hot button issue lately. Let's see here. Oh yeah, Caesar, I did see your comments about like the delay. Yeah, my bad. Trust me, I try to get these things on time, but then complications happen, and then I gotta delay the stream to adjust it. It's either that or the show doesn't go on right. What else is in here? Now there's some other comments that are worth addressing as well. Oh, the other thing I wanted to address, yeah, what was it? Right. I don't know if there will ever be a Krenodrome episode between me and PPP. There might be something worked out where, because I did want PPP on this show. I invited him here. He refused to show up. And when I asked to go on his show that he was running with Godwinson, he said, oh, he's never going on the show. So PPP isn't really interested in, like, I don't think he's interested in debating me, to be honest. I think he's more interested in, like, running and cowering away. That's why he blocked me on Discord. Like, I got along with him fine before. I was DMing him stuff, like, at various points here and there. And then after, like, I call him out for his support of Josh, he bails. So I don't know if that'll happen. I will, however, be going on EarJuice and Hef and EarJuice's show tomorrow. I think that's at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, you can catch me there. Okay, so let's get into the first topic then at this point. Let me show that. And this one's a bit of a doozy, and I don't like talking about shit like this because I have to get serious, because this isn't like LOL drama or whatever. This is kind of a serious issue, and I'm surprised that people don't take this a little bit more seriously. So I noticed, I think this guy Bowie put this thing best, and it's of course about this Cuties controversy. What is Cuties? It's a new film that's coming out by Netflix, and you might already be able to tell by this poster here where this is going. You have a bunch of young prepubescent girls in these positions and like this, and Netflix thinks this is appropriate to market this way and to share this way. This is red flag number 1. And this is the show that Dick Masterson has decided to promote. And why Dick Masterson, a guy who runs a podcast for the lulz, covering drama, covering internet scuffles, a guy who has a history of like being this macho Chad alpha guy, down to earth, I know what's business. Why he's taking up for this film, I have no idea. This kind of thing, it's like little girls should not be. Look, this is basic stuff. If your visceral reaction to this is disgusting, this shouldn't be here, why are we having this in the public spotlight? You're correct. This should not be something that's portrayed. Like, the only reason why I'm showing you this is because Netflix has decided to market this with this poster. This is what you can find on their website right now. I think they may have removed this particular poster at this point, but only after the backlash, which I'll get into. And it gets worse. This is the description of the film. Coming September 9th, Amy, 11, becomes fascinated with a twerking dance crew. Hoping to join them, she starts to explore her femininity, defying her family's traditions. And then it gives the actresses' names, and it shows the director's name here. Director being I'm not going to be able to pronounce her name. I'm just going to refer to her as the director of Cuties. There is no way I'm getting that right. You know me. I can't pronounce anything foreign. So, yeah. And again, the plot of this film does not seem to be anything good. Amy, 11, becomes fascinated with a twerking dance crew. For those who don't know what twerking is, it's where a woman shakes her hips in such a way where it looks like her butt jiggles. Is that something 11-year-old girls should be doing? Is that something that, like, that's just bizarre to me. Like, why would you want that from your children? Why would you want that from any girl? Why would you want to look at a girl that way at any point? Like, a little young girl who's only 11. Hoping to join them, she starts to explore her femininity, defying her family's traditions. Now, that last sentence there is a little bit more poignant than people realize. Like, firstly, explore her femininity. She's 11. Like, 11-year-old girls aren't, like, ready for any kind of sexual exploration or finding out who they are in any kind of, like, sense like that. They're little girls. Like, again, this is basic stuff. I shouldn't have to tell people this. This is just something that's, like, corely within people that doesn't need to be explained. And if you have, like, any kind of family members, like, yeah. It's just... And I'll get into why I'm bringing this up soon. The rating doesn't help. And, of course, he posts a Wojak meme showing, like, kind of backing off, which I say, yeah, Bowie's got a good take on this one. He says here, an 11-year-old girl working to embrace femininity. Okay, Netflix. Yeah. These are the kind of people that deserve the rope. Like, it's making me think that we're, like, you know, I don't want to use this, like, what my mind immediately goes to is, like, the Weimar Republic. Like, they had some really messed up, degenerate stuff, particularly in Berlin back in those days. It boggles my mind that we're headed down this path where we're just basically tearing down all kinds of norms and mores like that in the way we are. And he says it gets worse because this is how their customer service handles this. How does a customer asks, how does a movie sexualizing children get approved? Who signed off on this? And Netflix, someone by the name of Mary, answers, we understand that not all stories may appeal to all our viewers, which is why we always invest in a diverse range of content from all over the world. So what? Diversity in, you know, age of consent laws, I guess, or age of what's appropriate for children. Like, what kind of diversity is this? What kind of culture or society approves of this shit? It would take a pretty ass-backward society to prove of this. Like, this right here just shoots multiculturalism right out of the water. All cultures being equal is just fucking bullshit. I don't even understand what the point is here. We also provide ratings, synopsises, trailers, and controls to help our members make the right viewing choices for themselves and their families. And the questioner asks, do you support pedophilia? A simple yes or no will suffice. We cannot really comment on that. But while we believe in creative freedom at Netflix, we respect all religions and their cultures, traditions, and values. What the fuck are they on? What the hell is this shit? Why the fuck is Netflix doing this shit? Like, I don't get it. I get they're liberals. I get they believe that, like, Christianity is bad, traditional values are bad, any kind of, like, a sense of pride or anything like that is all bad. But this is... I thought that we had I thought that, like, you know, when it came to exploiting children, or anyone for that matter, as children can't consent to these kinds of activities, I thought we were all in agreement with that. I thought that this would be basic stuff, but apparently not. It's like a company just can't even be straightforward about supporting pedophilia, about condemning pedophilia. Very fucking simple. So yeah. But of course, we got some hot takes on this. And from none other than the person who's titled in the stream, Mr. Dick Masterson. Now, as I covered before, Dick Masterson has been taking up for Digibro, who's doing the Lolicon shit. I'm not going to go into detail for that because I found out some more interesting things between them. That I'll get into later, including a little bit of illegal trade going on. Some interesting, potentially criminal activities that Dick Masterson allegedly was engaged in the past. That's something I'm going to bring up on the next stream I do, and you'll see what I mean when I do that. It makes Dick Masterson all the more suspect. Go here. Okay, this is not the one I want to... Oh yeah, this is actually one of the ones I want to bring up. Dick Masterson's big take on this. Question for all the male Puritans shrieking about cuties sexualizing children. How old were you when you stole your first Playboy? Or made awkward jokes about sex with your friends for the first time? It feels like modern men have gone insane with the impotence of lockdown. Okay. No. Saying that 11-year-old girls shouldn't be dancing in sexually suggestive ways and going about being portrayed in that manner, and saying that that's fucking wrong, that's sick. Why would you ever do that? Why would you film girls like this? Why would you have these stupid pageant culture that sexualizes these girls in this way? Saying no, fuck that shit. That's not male Puritanism. Saying I don't want to exploit pedophiles, I don't want to fuck with kids, is not fucking being a male Puritan. Saying that no one should be into that is still not male Puritanism. It should be basic common fucking sense. This isn't some kind of weird exception or a debatable matter or something like that. Again, this is basic stuff. I don't know why Dick Masterson is dying this hill. I don't know if Dick Masterson is doing 24-hour ops, running a big troll in the gambit to test the boundaries of free speech or whatever. I don't give a shit. This is not acceptable or appropriate. There's no indication that this is a joke. There's no signs or cues or anything like that Dick Masterson is just LARPing and these are just fake opinions he's putting out there to get people's goats. And even if it is, he's still promoting this idea to people. And as we saw with a guy like Low-Key Savage, they'll gladly... there are people out there who will gravitate towards this. The whole... the business with the maps. Remember them? The minor attracted persons, those people, the ones that do that to downplay pedophilia, pederasty, etc. Yeah, this is the kind of rhetoric that they'll use. It's insane, man. I don't know what to make of this, and I don't know why he thinks it's a good hill to die on. Now, it's not even just about a good hill to die on. I'm not even sure what's going through his head. The worst possible interpretation I could give is that Dax might actually be a kid diddler. I mean, that's the worst possible interpretation. I don't think it's likely to be the case. But the alternative, but it also makes me suspect, is he dealing with, he's going to take up for Digibro. He's going to take up for this film. Is he dealing with some kind of with pedophiles? Does he, welcome them in his life? Is that who he associates with? Okay, someone says in chat, did you see the owner where the movie premiered raped a 7-year-old? Yeah, I did notice that. The guy who ran the Sundance Festival. Yeah. I did read about he was convicted for raping a young boy. That did happen, yes. But I'm not sure if that crime that took place is specifically relevant to this film. Although it does make you think. How likely is that a coincidence, though? You got to ask yourself that. And now we have this one, which, of course, Dick decided to display the poster right here. Did anyone even bother to read a review of this movie before picking up your pitchforks? It's about girls struggling with accelerated cultural sexualization. It actually sounds good and funny. Okay. It actually sounds good and funny. Dax Herrera, I have to ask, what the fuck? Again, this might be him trolling and trying to get a gotcha or something like that. I don't care. I'm going to take him at face value because he is not saying at any point during any of this, yeah, this is a big troll. This is to make a point. This is a thing. No, fuck that. I'm not believing that. If you say something on social media or something like that, and it comes off as bizarre, I'm not going to assume it's a joke. So I have to ask, what was the logic running through your head when you made this sentence? It actually sounds good and funny. In what sense is our accelerated culture sexualizing younger and younger girls? How is that good or funny in any way? I don't get it. I don't get this. That's not something I call a jolly good time. If there's a serious documentary about this subject matter, I would be calling it anything less than that. That's not the argument I used to defend it. But it gets worse, because if we actually look at the article that he links, it doesn't even support this argument. Let me read this out to you. because this goes into some of the deeper matters about this film that I don't think a lot of people are going to touch on. I don't think a lot of people are going to talk about. And it kind of like puts everything together as to why this film is so bad and why so many people are against it. So this is from Decider, and this article's titled, Netflix Cuties is a heartbreaking coming-of-age film, both modern and timeless, by Anna Menta. And the article reads as follows. The 11-year-old girls in Cuties, a French Netflix film that appeared at Sundance Film Festival on Thursday night, have a tentative grasp on the concept of sex. They theorize that oral sex involves a man's penis filling up a woman's entire body, and they know that that condoms have something to do with AIDS, but they're not quite sure what. But what they know with certainty is that sexuality is a girl's key to attention and power, and they know that power is something they want. These girls are 11. Okay, let's not mince words here. These aren't like they're 11 years old. That's the age, or the average age, I'm guessing, of the girls in the movie, and you can see in the trailer. Which, by the way, that trailer, I thought about it. I'm not going to play the trailer. I think the poster cements that enough. I did watch the trailer, and I was disgusted by it because there are several gratuitous shots of these girls bending over so you get a good view of their ass. And on top of that, there's crotch shots there also in the trailer. This is fucking disgusting. This should not be something that you do, like, at all, seriously. And as this continues, from French writer/director, I cannot pronounce this person's name. I'm just going to get it wrong. I don't know how to pronounce this one. Whose short film, Mamas, was named Best Short at Sundance, Toronto, and at Caesars in 2017. Cuties, titled something else in French, is a coming-of-age film that will speak volumes to anyone who has lived through the agonizing, confusing time that is girlhood. Yet at the same time, the story feels specific and personal. Our protagonist is Amy, an 11-year-old girl living with her mother and her two younger brothers in a small apartment in Paris. The family is waiting for Amy's father to return from Senegal, where he has gotten engaged to another woman. Taking a second or third or fourth wife is a traditional Muslim marital practice. However, women's rights movements have lobbied for restrictions on polygamy, and some countries, including the US, have banned it. Amy's mother insists she's happy for her husband, but Amy secretly witnesses her mother sobbing and self-harming in a private moment. Amy is distracted from her family's woes when she meets Angelica. Angelica and Amy are the same age and classmates, but Angelica wears leather pants, crop tops, and flattens her long hair with an iron. She's an obvious cool girl. Angelica is nice to Amy in the sense that her posse harasses Amy on the schoolyard. She half-heartedly tells them to stop. Despite their cruelty, Amy desperately wants to join their clique, who call themselves the Cuties. The key, she knows, is through the sensual dance routine the girls are practicing for an upcoming dance competition. Unfortunately, their crop tops and sexy dance moves go against everything Amy's religious Muslim family stands for. And this is where it starts to cut to the heart of the matter. This film is not only portraying kids in very sexualized situations, but also it's hitting at traditional values. And the way it does this is it attacks Muslim traditional values, which, yes, Muslims do go to extremes of some of their beliefs. But in principle, for the most part, except for things like the polygamy stuff and the honor killings and the other barbaric stuff like that, I'm not talking about that. But things like women should cover up, a woman should value her chastity, and other related matters. Those are in line with traditional values that Christians and other religious groups hold. This is something that has been passed on from generation to generation and is what has worked. This angle that they're going for here is an attack on that. They're essentially saying it's better to be this degenerate in this society and to grow up Like, essentially groomed by the other culture that you're moving into, in the case of these Muslims immigrating to Europe. Like, it's disgusting. And as this article continues, but Amy finds ways. She borrows her younger brother's shirts as a do-it-yourself crop top. She steals her neighbor's phone and secretly gives herself dance lessons via YouTube music videos. When one of the cuties gets kicked out of the group for betraying Angelica, their de facto leader, Amy, impresses them with an audition. She has a secret weapon, a particularly risque dance move that involves humping the floor. Let me read that again. A particularly risque dance move that involves humping the floor. Again, 11! 11! Okay? This girl is 11 in the movie. And I imagine the actress is too. This is messed up. Not even the Cuties have dared to be that sexual before. For American audiences, Cuties is an international story about a specific subset of Paris, rarely seen on screen. A working-class Muslim, Senegal's, I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce foreign things. I'm going to butcher this pronunciation, so forgive me for that. Senegalese family. But it's also a universal story about girlhood. The directors of the film's script perfectly captures that preteen desperation to fit in, which so many girls understand to mean to be sexy. With the daily barrage of hypersexualized women in media, how can you blame them? Amy's goal is not to have sex with men. Again, she barely understands the mechanics of sex. It's to win. No, this is messed up. No. Okay, yes, kids don't know things about sex and stuff like that. This is not a normal thing for girls to go through. This is not something that girls at 11 or 12, it's not something that they don't go on to these risque dance moves and stuff like that. They're more they're not or using their feminine willies in these ways. And besides, they know that these things are taboo. Maybe they don't have a full, proper understanding of how sex works. But the reality is that they understand these things are wrong. Like, this is just, this whole thing being presented the way it is, this isn't a combination of the pageant scene. Like, based on this article that I'm reading here, this is a celebration of it. Completely. It's not something that we should promote. It's not something that we should take up as free speech. No. And yeah, like someone said, rail against it, disavow, boycott it. And I disagree with that last point though. I don't think that we should just move on. I think that people should be as vocal as they can and just say, no, I'm not going to support this stuff. And there's other controversies involving this kind of material that Netflix has gotten itself into before. Netflix has gone ahead and they've made such great things as like taking cartoons from the 90s or earlier and injecting a whole bunch of LGBT characters into them. They've gone ahead and they made a film about how Jesus Christ was actually a gay man. And they also made another film in which there was a minor child involved in a sexual situation. Like, no, this is not something that we as a society should put up with. So, yeah, I agree with the first 2 points. Boycott, rail against it. And I'm not going to say that I'm going to be like talking about this topic forever, but I don't think we should just forget what this company does. I think that there are other streaming alternative sites we can go to. We can easily, like, hell, I don't like Disney, but fucking Disney is actually, no, don't even bother with that one because they're degenerate too. But other streaming services, yeah, there are competitors. There are competitors to this. And besides that, you know what? Even better. Forget the competition. For the most part. If you don't want to, don't pay any of these media companies any money. You can easily watch this stuff for free if you know where to look. There's lots of this content on YouTube and on other sites that you can go ahead and explore. Oh, and Wingless Shinami in chat brings up Big Mouth. Yeah, that is a highly degenerate show. So yeah. And let me read the last paragraph of this article. And then we'll move on to the next topic, because I know some of you in chat don't like this particular stuff because this gets a little too real. And yeah, I agree. It is a tough topic, but I don't know what it is, but it seems like in the drama community, like they're just, put it like this. The surface level stuff within the drama community is like basically people just being dicks to one another, or doing embarrassing or disgusting things and people laughing at that. That's where most of the surface level stuff comes from. But you go a layer deeper and you find a dark rabbit hole where there are so many people that are involved or supportive of pedophilia. And I could do a whole stream listing every single name of every single person involved with this. So it's like it does get depressing. And as viewers know, who've watched for a while, we've had I've talked about Milo doing this, I've talked about Justicar doing this, and even Sargon a little bit. All three of these guys, they made arguments defending pedophilia, at least in some cases. So, let me see. Do I want to read the rest of this? Yeah, I do. Just for completion's sake. Gaio is wonderful, Amy's warm, surprisingly forgiving mother, and Yusuf is nothing short of phenomenal as Amy herself. Amy's every emotion is welled up in her eyes, and she's clearly a rising star. The other child actors are not quite on her level, but they don't really need to be. But most of all, this is a stellar feature debut that proves a storyteller to watch. The heartbreaking lesson Amy eventually learns is there's an invisible line between sexy and slut. One will score you an invite to the cool kids table, the other will get you banned for life. It's a lesson most women learn, and for each passing generation, it's a lesson that seems to come sooner and sooner. Well, you know what? This is disgusting. This film, fuck this film. I don't care if this is based on her personal experiences or whatever. Based on what I've read from this, and also other statements by the director herself, and other people have seen this, this material is just a promotion of this kind of degeneracy at the end of the day. Girls and women should be taught to act and behave appropriately in society. I believe that. Women should not be revealing as much as their body as possible. Like, that's not something I agree with at all. I don't think that women should be sluts or hoes. I think that chastity is something that should be practiced. And that's not to say that men should get a pass or anything like that. It's just that this issue is particularly targeting women. And I don't think that, like, sexual liberation empowers women or whatever liberal stuff comes across. I know a bunch of lefties or libertarians in my audience might disagree with that, but that's where I'm coming from. I have very conservative views when it comes to social issues. So, yeah. Just want to go over a few things that Dick Masterson said. And actually, this guy points out Dick Masterson's folly here. You're misrepresenting what it's saying about being a slut. It's not saying being a slut is bad. It's saying that women get judged for being a slut. It's insinuated throughout this judgment is a bad thing. And he says, I haven't seen it, as his response. I'm talking about the review. Shockingly moral. And then it quotes part of it. Reread the blurb in context with the rest of the article. It basically saying slut shaming is bad and that sexualizing kids is fine. The only morality in this review is about the social pressures to be in the crowd. Wrong, and you haven't seen it. No, we've read the reviews. This person saw it. This guy's 100% correct. And this other guy points out, neither have you. I'm telling you what's in the review. Oh, okay. So you can tell people what's in the review, but other people who actually understand what's saying can't point this bullshit out to you. Okay. You know, Dick Masterson, if you happen to be listening to this, you can come on the show. I'm fine with that. I'll go ahead and debate you on this topic. I'll go ahead and debate my traditionalist worldview that you hate and want to eradicate from this earth, and I'll point out why your degenerate hedonistic ways are the folly of mankind and are only going to lead you to ruin. Other dumb comments like pretty normal. I could be here all day reading this stuff. Yes, I read the review, which is where I found this. Amy, and then he quotes part of the article, and he says this is pretty normal coming of age shit. Dick, have you ever been around, like, a woman? I don't mean, like, in a sexual way. I mean, like, or any one of the female sex in your entire life. Like, I know you wrote a quote-unquote satirical book called Men, quote unquote, Men Are Better Than Women, which is totally satire and not some dumb incel garbage that you put together and got made money off of. Like, normal girls don't go through that. This guy's, I think Dick might be losing his mind. I don't know. Why did Dale or Dax choose to die in this hill now of all times? I don't know. The weird thing is, Dax Herrera seems to have taken up this view for a while. I don't think at this point, although it is a possibility, that this is all just Gunt guarding. I don't, because this has been going on for days and days and days after the Gunt fiasco. Well, it's still kind of going, but it's kind of died down, and I don't think it's died down because of this. So, I don't know what's going on with this guy's head. I think it's just, this is the, you know what it is? It's libertarianism taken to its logical extreme. When you take ideas that sound good on paper, like, oh, everyone should have their own rights, and these rights are absolute and unlimited, and then you apply it to its ridiculous extreme, you end up defending dumb decisions. I mean, there's even a tweet where Dax, even after Netflix changed their marketing for this film, is still, like, defending all of Netflix's decisions. Yeah. So, in any event, let's see. Let me see. Okay. Let me just look at some of the chat here. If people are going to try to make a movie to teach us not to sexualize children, the first thing they should try to do is not sexualize children. Fireflower, you were 100% correct. I agree with that completely. If that were to be the goal of the movie, then yeah, they shouldn't be having those shots. They shouldn't be making those parts in the movie, etc. And this isn't about the promotion, or this isn't strictly about the promotion. The shots in the film you can see are that way. Zap Rousdozer says, "Notice me, John? You're noticed." JMK is a member of the Order of the Nine Angels. No, I would not. Like, I have my own faults and failings and stuff like that. I'm not gonna put myself up on a pedestal. Let's see. Someone says JMK is the reincarnation of Uncle Adolf. No, I don't. No, I don't agree with the. I don't agree with that at all. What else is in the chat? Okay. All right, I think that's enough of the chat for now. And what else? All right. Let's go into something a little bit more lighthearted, a little bit less disgusting than Diddler Dax and his stupid pedophilia advocacy. Like, I don't know why he's decided to die in this hill. Give me a second. Let's switch back to this guy for a second. Now, I want to talk about PPP. Some people are a little bit confused or unsure what my issue is with PPP. Basically, I can sum it up like this. PPP is a guy who started off, like, I guess, he got involved, like, the way that I was introduced to him was I noticed that he was, like, making some videos about, like, I think it was on the Skeptics and stuff at the time. Back in 2018, he was trying to get involved with blood sports, and he just came across as goofy and weird to me. Then I heard about, then he had his meltdown on stream where he exposed himself to, like, and when I say exposed himself, I mean right down to his bare bones naked body, and he bent over right in front of the camera for all to see. He had that major fuck up. Then after, like, some time, he disappeared for a while, and then he came back with a vengeance, and he started attacking, like, everybody. Absolutely everybody, which I don't blame him for having that attitude. It's kind of the attitude I have, although I just don't think that... The thing is, here's the weird thing. A criticism I've been getting lately is that I don't pick up on social cues or some dumb shit like that, or saying that I'm autistic. The autistic thing, you can go ahead and throw that at me. That's probably fair. But this guy, when it comes to social cues or autism, like, he comes up with all these, like, I'm sorry, I'm not on camera flailing my arms around and screaming like at the top of my lungs. I'm not the guy who just can't differentiate between Nick Rekieta and Dax Herrera when he goes on a live stream with them. I'm not the guy who's calling for the deaths of like guys like Digibro and Dick Masterson, and then when called out on that not being very Christian, he goes ahead and misquotes the Bible. I'm not that guy. It's the thing is, this guy is all those things I just described. And yet, for some reason, they want to say that I shouldn't have an opinion on things because I take things too seriously or whatever, or because I look up all this information, stuff like that. I don't get it. Or maybe it's because I'm too humorless. I don't get that at all. And the main thing that really solidified my position about PPP not being this guy, this great hero that everyone says he is the fact that he's been going on out of his way to shit on Ralph and shit on Dax, and it's very, very consistent. He shits on Ralph one week, he shits on Dax Herrera, he shits on anyone supportive of them, anyone in their network, anyone in their circle, and he's been doing this for a while, and I thought, okay, so he's trying to be, and at first on that list was Joshua Moon. Now, the problem becomes that when it comes to Joshua Moon, he's done a 180 at this point. He's now taking up for Josh because Josh had a falling out with Ralph. So now it's just become a matter of convenience for him. So he's willing to just ignore the fact that Josh is a pedophile. He's willing to ignore that Josh runs the Kiwi Farms website. He's willing to website that's full of like all these doxers and people who do gay ops and then deny they're doing gay ops. He's willing to ignore the fact that Joshua Moon was smearing PPP as a conspiracy tinfoil hattery guy that didn't know what he was talking about and that he was taking up for Dick Masterson. He's willing to ignore all that just because now they're fighting with war with Ralph. They're fighting a war with the Gunt now. So it's time to set aside their differences and go on stream, not just with Joshua Moon, but with Kraut, with Monday Matt, and others that PPP's called out in the past. Just because, oh, wow, now they've gotten a redemption arc. Now these are good guys, everybody. We should forget the fact that Monday Matt is, like, he's also a piece of shit. Like, what Monday Matt has never, ever contributed anything to society in his life. Ever. All his videos are garbage. He basically, I'm pretty sure he lied about Zoe Quinn flagging him. I'm not, like, there's still a chance that maybe that's true, but it's very unlikely that's the case. Because he could have easily appealed it and won, but he chose not to. And he also was caught lying about his about flagging issues relatively recently. But no, let's not talk about that. That's in the past. Monday Matt's a good guy now. He's dunking on Ralph. Well, anyone can dunk on Ralph. Anyone can dunk on these people. It doesn't mean you're a genius. And yeah, some of I'll give the devil credits where it's due. I won't lie and say that Monday Matt's bashing of these guys is not funny, but let's be real here. Are we really going to say that Kraut's a good guy? Monday Matt's a good guy? Guys like Jeff Holiday and all these other people, all these other miscreants who bullshit and lie and go about their way with the same petty vindictiveness that Ralph has? It's really a case of where this guy is not what he says he is. And there's also other weird issues that PPP has. But I'm going to save those for a bit. I'm going to look at his latest video. I'm going to play some of that. And I'm going to respond to some of it. So let me get that. Put that on screen. Close this out. Before I do that, I'm going to read some more comments in the chat. Give me a second. Terry Dactyl says, PPP is playing a character. That's my take. That said, everyone could take shots on whoever. It benefits the community in the long run as far as blood sports. Yeah, I can understand that from like an entertainment point of view. Zap Rouser says he stole the lemons. Well, that actually kind of leads into a thing that about PPP that I don't get. He has this weird issue with money. I don't think he gets that making money in of itself is not a sin. And it's kind of like how he says, oh, Ralph is grifting the alt-righters and the neo-Nazis and all these white supremacists. He's lying to them. He's saying he supports all these things when he really doesn't, and he platforms and caters them. They don't care. Those guys, those Nazis don't, quote-unquote Nazis, those guys don't care whether they believe in ethno-nationalism, white supremacy, white nationalism, whatever their beliefs are that concern with like supporting the white race. They're pretty, they don't care about that. They're all about the ends justifying the means. That's why they take up a white nationalist position to begin with. Like, the real criticism should be that Ralph caters to them as an audience to begin with. Not that they're being grifted, because firstly, they're aware that Ralph is a degenerate. They don't care. Anything that's going to go ahead and advance their stuff is what they're going to support. That's what it gets down to. So, I don't understand that. One more comment. Wingless Shinami says, it's funny that the Australian government allows Cuties and Big Mouth, but wants to ban SAO/anime. Hypocrisy or something else? I would say, yeah, it's pretty hypocritical. The problem with the Australians rating board is I can understand like government having a ratings board like that, but the way that they apply their rules and stuff like that seems inconsistent and hypocritical, etc. So that being said, let me switch to the browser. Close that. And let's listen to some of this. And this is the part where PPP says he's going to retire. He makes this big announcement. He's going to like kind of, not really, actually, I'm not doing that. Move on is what PPP's going for.
Oh no there, guys! It's over! Oh, I've been exposed there, guys! The tears! Oh, the Grand Lemon Heist! I grifted you all! You've been scammed! That's right, Terry! Get the channel banned! It's retirement time! PPP's cashed it all out! Oh, PPP! How can you do this to us?
Alright, so this is what PPP shtick usually is. It's not like terrible. I get that he's doing this as a bit and he wants to have fun. And he's like being sarcastic and like saying like, oh my gosh, look at this thing. And then after the bit's over, he gets into like the meat of what he's talking about, which let me see at the time where he stops bopping around. Go about 2 minutes in.
Oh my god, it's over. Oh, the reality is, Shannon, I could shoot somebody in the middle of 5th Avenue and get away with it. I can grift, I can do whatever the fuck I want, Shannon. And these idiots will still support me, Shannon. Do you want to know why, Shannon? Because I'm actually good at what I do, Shannon. Oh, Shannon. Oh, my God, it's over for him. Oh, my God, guys. I'm never going to recover. Anyway, the reality is I am probably going to take a vacation. I am going to go away for a while. I just couldn't help but laugh because they think they actually won this morning. Oh, it's over. You still put out a sex tape, you idiot. You just shaved your head like Britney Spears.
Yeah, so basically, apparently there was some kind of stream or something this morning where apparently Gator and I guess others shat on PPP. I wasn't able to find that. Someone wants to send that to me, feel free to do so. Other than that, yeah, like, what was it? Yeah, I don't know what he's referencing there, like, but he does go on and explain what it is that the accusations or criticism that have been lobbied against him, but they don't really make a lot of sense because PPP has always kind of been on the attack and like made statements that making money is all a grift, it's all bad. Mitch in chat says, I think it was just Twitter posts. Yeah, I didn't know, but the issue with that, I did notice that him and Gator had a bit of a back and forth. And frankly, they both looked like idiots in that exchange. Gator, I never want to say ever has a good point, ever. But it's like, when he told PPP that making money isn't an issue. Now, the issue with Gator saying that is he believes that making money at expense of self-respect is perfectly okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But if anyone else made that point, yeah, they'd be 100% correct. Because it's true. Making money isn't a sin. Like, here's an example. If a magician goes ahead, does a performance, has like a bucket for donations on the side of the road, and people throw them money into the bucket, is that guy evil? A serious question. Like, you know, like the criticism of pay pigging and not getting like your money back and that, oh, it's not worth it. That's come up a lot. But at the end of the day, donation-based monetary systems is just kind of how the internet developed. That's how it is. So, yeah, I don't see that as inherently a quote-unquote grift, which would be imply that you're being ripped off. Now, is it a good use of your money to be giving e-celebs your hard-earned change or whatever? No. You should save that, invest that shit. Like, you don't have to feel obligated to support anyone. Like, the only time you should ever ever give your money away is if it's like a genuinely true charity case, I guess. And even then, you're not required to help those people out. Or if you get back what you put into it. So, like, so on those points, I kind of agree with here, but PPP has been very, very on the attack when it comes to this stuff.
For fucking like nothing! For fucking pennies in the gutter, you fucking bum! And you're gonna, oh my god, he used to be our hero! It's not like I haven't had a PayPal button for like a year now or 6 months. Oh my god! Oh, the sky is falling! Oh. The reality of it is they're desperately trying to distract you from the reality that Faith has Ethan Ralph's balls in a fucking vice grip there. He's fucked. Mr. Vickers there as Mr. fucking Vickers has laid out the timeline there. Mr. Vickers has laid out the timeline of how and why Faith...
Okay, so he says he's done with Ralph. Later in the video, he's going to say he's done with Ralph. Actually, he has said he's been done with Ralph before, but here he is, like, ranting and bitching and moaning about Ralph again. Typical, like, I mean, that's... It's kind of a point I'm going to get into a little bit later. It's kind of a point that I've made before. Also, someone in chat said check DMs. I did. I didn't get your DM if you sent me one. Let me know if that was on Twitter or on Discord. I'll check for that.
It was such a disgusting fucking whore. The reality is Faith is a manipulative, lying sociopath. I get these Casey Anthony vibes strong. Strong as fuck Casey Anthony vibes. At this point, we know that there's going to be a hospital bill that isn't going to go to the parents because she's decided to no longer be their dependent, so it's going to go straight to Ethan Ralph. He's either not going to pay the hospital bill, which is likely an add to his growing debts, or be out like 8-9 grand, 10 grand, whatever the fuck the hospital bill is. I mean, the reality of it is that for the next 2 years, Faith at any time can try and press charges for revenge porn. Do you know what that means?
Okay, so for a bit of context behind this, because PPP is bad at explaining shit, and I had to look some of this shit up. Unfortunately, I could be bad at explaining things too, so mea culpa. PPP's talking about how Matthew Vickers, the father of Faith, Faith being Ralph's 18-year-old girlfriend. And Matthew Vickers has been making a name for himself, going about being kind of this big, going about on Twitter, answering people's questions, addressing all people's complaints and stuff like that. You know, doing the typical e-celeb shit, showing out his websites and stuff like that. He even made a new website to promote his brand. My problem with all this. Here's my problem with all this, and you probably already know what it is if you've already been paying attention to these streams. But let's not forget that Ethan Ralph released revenge porn on his daughter, and now she is like, if I was in that position of the father, I would be so ashamed of her. I would want nothing to do with any of this shit. I wouldn't want to market my brand, my name, my family's name, and drag up all this shit into the public. Yet here he is doing it. So no, I don't believe Matthew Vickers for a second. When people talk shit about legal matters, I tend not to believe them. And the reason I tend not to believe them is that in my experience, when people threaten legal action, whether it be through civil or through criminal courts, they tend to be full of shit. And in this case, and any good lawyer will tell you that when it comes to handling these kinds of issues, what you need to do is stay quiet, keep your cards close to the vest, don't reveal and expose everything. We already saw how that worked for Nick Rekieta and Vic Mignogna. It did not end well. It ended horribly because Nick Rekieta was just telling all the legal strategies live on air. Big-brained move there by the... And this is the non-lawyer having to educate the guy who supposedly graduated from law with a law degree about this, which makes it funny. But that aside, I don't get Matthew Vickers' legal strategy here, producing all these emails, going ahead, talking about these timelines and stuff like that. All this is doing is helping Matthew Vickers grow a brand for himself. That's it. So I don't get why PPP is taking his statements at face value. I don't trust this guy at all. He may be telling the truth, he might not, but there's no real good reason to say, yeah, this guy's legit. No, I don't believe that for a second. In fact, if I was Ralph, I'd just ignore him and I'd consider myself fine. I don't think there's any kind of, like, honestly, the main issue right now is that Ralph should be in jail. I agree with that sentiment, but it's only going to work if Faith presses charges. And right now it seems like Faith is standing by her gunt, even though the gunt fucked with her in a malicious, cruel way. So I'm going to play a bit more of this.
That means Ethan Ralph has to give Faith anything she desires. Any amount of money that she desires. The reality is you're fucked, Ralph. You're fucked. She has you by the balls so fucking strong, you're fucked. And I don't even think you're going to get a crumb of fucking pussy. You're going to be buying her all the drugs she wants, all the stupid purses, shoes, bullshit she wants, taking her to restaurants. You're going to be fucking giving her every last dime. Every last lemon is going to go to her. All your savings is going to be fucking gone. And at the end of it, after she's taken you for a ride and drained fucking everything, then she's going to fuck you and accuse you of domestic abuse or violence so that she can grift more attention and sympathy and start a GoFundMe, and idiots will give her fucking money. That's what's going to happen. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. The reason I haven't done anything this whole week, I've just been trying to take a break, is
Okay, so that whole rant that PPP did, I don't know how serious he is about that. That could be an X-File, but it's a fair bit of speculation. So I'm not really going to fault PPP too much for the potential fate and future of Ralph being chained to his wife and having to raise a bunch of little guntlets. Although, I have to be honest with you guys, the idea of Ralph reproducing is horrifying. I don't know if we want to see more drunk, 350-pound internet shit talkers like whose size of their gut is only surpassed by the size of their head. That might not be a good thing. But in any event,
because I know you're fucked. I know it's over. Like, I don't have to do anything. Even if every one of my followers lost faith in me, said, you used to be my hero, fuck you, It wouldn't even matter, Ralph, because you're fucked. You fucked yourself. I don't need to do anything. Other people are doing my job for me now. I just am going to kick back and watch fucking pro wrestling. I'm watching all the WrestleManias there. I'm just chilling. I'm fucking enjoying life. I did the Great Lemon Heist, and I'm going to get away with it too.
Okay, so I don't know what this whole lemon heist thing is about. Like, I mean, I think people are only bringing that up to PPP because PPP has several times in the past made statements that, oh, taking super chat donations is wrong. It's bad. You can't do that. You shouldn't be doing that sort of thing. Making money evil. It's bad. So I don't know did PPP not pick up that's kind of, if they're faulting him for it, did he not pick up sarcasm? Is he too autistic to get the point about hypocrisy here? About how him shilling for lemons all of a sudden is not actually accurate? And him going on vacation. I don't get this. I don't get this kid saying that, yeah, I'm going to take a break from all this. I'm going on vacation. You're clearly not. I saw you fight all day on Twitter with Gator. I saw you make a statement just before the stream started about how, let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Because, give me a moment. I got to find a better way to get links up. Make it a little bit faster. Here we go. But here, right here, this is just like an hour and a half before the stream started. It's an omni shambles at Gun HQ as Mr. Vickers exposes Ralph as a childish cartoon villain. Ralph cancels his show due to domestic issues, and Gator lashes out on Twitter at the A-logs he promised to ignore. I find it funny that he inadvertently calls himself an A-log there. But other than that, like, he's still obsessed with Ralph. He still has him in his crosshairs because, like, he's really mad at Ralph for making fun of him on several live streams all those years ago. Or something else. I don't know what the deal is, but he's really very vindictive and petty about Ralph. And for all his calling himself the power of the truth and People's Populist Press and all this other dumb shit, this LARP he's doing, it's a bunch of bullshit. He doesn't really care. He just wants revenge. That's it.
It's the same thing. They're like, oh, he's fat. He's a fat fuck. Why don't the audience hate him? They make fun of me for being fat. It's because I don't make excuses and bitch and moan and cry. You want to see how fat I am? There it is, bitches.
Okay, here's something I want to note. PPP, like, seriously, you know that's not healthy. You know that's gross and disgusting. Why the fuck are you going ahead and doing this dumb shit that liberals do? In fact, you would criticize any liberal for, like, going ahead, waving pride parade flags and saying, like, celebrating their deviancy. You would say, oh, so you're proud of all that? What the fuck is wrong with you? Don't you have any sense of shame? But here you are, showing your gluttonous big giant gut and being like, ho, look at this. It's okay, guys. I'm really great. It's okay that I'm a fat loser who just lives with Surfer. Like, the thing is, like, maybe he was just, like, I get that, like, what's his name? No, not that one. Godspeed. I get he was trolling, but, like, when he said that, hey, you should lose all this weight, I could teach, like, I think the troll part was, I could teach you how to lose weight. He's not going to do anything like that. But, seriously, you gotta fix this shit, man. You're gonna eat yourself to death just like Ralph is. And you get just as drunk as he does as well. So, your fans not making fun of you for this when they make fun of Ralph? Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, they're not obligated. People can make fun of whoever they want at the end of the day. But, I don't know. That's kind of a little bit of a hypocrisy there. Just a little smidge of one. And for the record, I don't eat. Well, I do eat. But I don't overeat. I'm not fat. Never been fat my entire life, and I don't drink. So this isn't a case of Dolph protest too much. This is a case of, yeah, this is not healthy. PPP, really consider your lifestyle choices.
There it is, bitches. There it fucking is. There's no excuses here. There's nothing here. We won. We just keep winning.
Guys, they won. They won, guys. The war's over. Like, declare just like we won in Iraq once Bush landed down the Air Force jet. Victory's over, guys. You didn't win any. Like, that's another thing I'm not liking. For some reason, Ashton is under the impression that Ethan Ralph is just, like, what is it? Ashton is under the impression that Ethan Ralph is done. He's not. He's not done. He's not out of the game. He's not defeated once and for all. All he has to do is just continue to make streams, and his audience will still follow him. That's why, like, if he was to really go down, D-Live would have suspended him, or all his little people in his circles, like, the usual suspects, Fuentes, Spencer, what's the other guy? Like, he had some YouTuber on, some anti-SJW YouTuber on just last night. All the people that Ralph regularly networks would have just disowned him and walked away. You didn't win. You just had your fun laughing at his expense, taking advantage of his misery just so you could feel better about your own sorry life. That's it. You didn't win at all. And this is going to continue. And that's why this whole act, like, I get it. It's a joke. PPP's joking around, guys. But here's the thing about humor that people don't seem to get. That, ironically, I get. When people make jokes, they can also mean what they say. So here's the thing. The sincerity, the insincerity here is that PPP is making the case that he's going to move away, he's going to walk away and move on to other content. He's making the case that other content that he produces is going to be better than covering Ralph. That is a lie. Because the reality is, and PPP could pull up numbers and percentages about how much of his content is on Ralph and how much of his content is on Cooking with Surfer and, I don't know, that review show that he did, whatever. It doesn't matter. What PPP is known for, what the numbers that he keeps getting are based on, why people give him attention that he so desperately craves and wants, is based on him shitting on Ralph. His dynamic of attacking Ralph and embarrassing Ralph over and over and over again is what draws people to PPP. And he knows this. He knows that's the case. He has to know it. That's why he's not done. That's why whenever he says he's going to back off, like he said this last week, he's not backing off. He's going to make more streams about PPP. He's going to make more streams about other e-celebs, etc.
We just keep winning, and you keep losing, and losing, and losing, to the point where I'm just kicking back. Me and Godwinson are kicking back. We're fucking chillaxing. Because we know the shit's on lock. We know the shit's on lock. We don't have to do fuck all. Phantom's doing all the grunt work. He's stream sniping that shit every night. He's putting up with that. How long can he fucking do this for? Yeah, it's terrible. But, he's doing it. Jarbo's come in just dabbing on Worski and Kyler.
Caesar in chat says JMK is gunk guarding. The truth is finally revealed. Okay, I think that's a joke, but no, I don't say what I say in defense of Ralph. No, Ralph is a predator. He's a piece of shit. He preyed on that young girl for his own, just to go ahead and, like, I don't know what the fuck he was thinking. I guess what he was thinking was the only way I can get laid is if I have mediocre pussy, which is why he went after this high schooler. So, yeah, no, fuck Ralph, for the record. Also, someone in chat says X-File reviews. Well, there's an idea. X-Files is actually a good show. People should watch it more.
It's over. Like, what are you gonna do? You're shaving your head like Britney Spears for pennies in the fucking gutter. Being blown out, fucking tears in your eyes. Tears in your fucking eyes there. As Mr. Vickers exposes the timeline. Exposes the fact that you were grifted, you were frauded, you were scammed. The reality is, Faith is an evil fucking person. She's an evil person, and her father isn't much better. Her father is already selling t-shirts and pins. That's why I almost don't want anything to do with it, because that whole family and the vicious Vickers is just scum. Who's gonna publicize this about their daughter? Putting out these timelines, all this fucked up shit about their own daughter, trying to profit off your daughter by selling t-shirts and pins. Are you fucking kidding me? Trying to make excuses for why you let her smoke medicinal pot there at home. Trying to make excuses for why you didn't parent her or discipline her because you were also a stoned fucking degenerate when you were growing up. Fuck off there. I don't want to hear any of your bullshit excuses. You are a shitty father. You are a shitty father. And you are a scumbag. And I don't give a fuck. You're going to buy Ralph's house? Good. You're going to destroy his life? Good. The reality is his life's already fucked because he's decided to shack up common law with your miserable cunt of a daughter who's just an evil bitch. An evil bitch who's going to take Ethan for all that she's worth. She's gonna fucking have his child. She's gonna get...
Okay, PPP actually makes some decent points about Ralph. I don't quite, like... No, actually, no. I think that, like, Faith has done some messed up shit, so referring to her as an evil woman, somewhat valid. Let me try to skip ahead a little bit, because there's one part that in particular that I need to get to address.
Project 2 cartel. It's all real. It's all real there, ladies and gentlemen. It's all real. And she will get pregnant, and Ralph will be forced. Dick's just pumping it the fuck out, alienating everyone, alienating Ricada, who's put on generous Josh last night. You know, and you have all these people who cry, "You used to be my hero, you used to..."
Okay, so, give me a quick second. So this whole thing that he's referencing about, like, Josh being on Nick Ricada's show, firstly, that's not, like, Nick Ricada disowning Dick Masterson. If PPP actually, what was it? If PPP actually watched a stream of, like, Nick Ricada, and I don't, like, I need to blame him for this, because he wants to cover all this E-Slip shit, but he doesn't actually want to pay attention to what's going on. So no, I will call out PPP for not actually tuning in to actually find out what Nick Ricada and Josh had to say about Dick Masterson. If PPP actually paid attention, or even got one of his capos to go in and watch it for him, like, I don't know, get Surfer or Godwinson, or anyone else that he has on any of his other underlings, who probably be willing to do this themselves anyway. Josh and Nick Ricada both said nothing really all that negative about Dick Masterson at all. No. Because Nick Ricada has a lot more power than PPP is willing to admit, and is a much bigger grifter and con man than PPP will ever be willing to call out. Because you got to keep in mind, PPP wants the attention. He doesn't actually want to be the guy who calls people out. He wants to be the guy who goes ahead and gets all this attention that he possibly can. And if its target's too big, he's going to lay off them. Oh, Nick Ricada, I can't possibly go after him. Kiwis are going to get mad at me then, and they'll start shitting on my thread. Dude, you're pathetic. Like, really. And what they did say, actually, about this issue was that they disagreed with Dick Masterson, but they weren't going to, like, I think what Nick Ricada said was that he disagreed with Dick Masterson, but he wasn't going to, like, pillory him or anything like that. And the thing is, and the telling thing about all this, is Dick Masterson retweeted Nick Ricada platforming Josh on his show. So that this whole thing about, like, oh, well, Nick Ricada's disowning Dax. No, that's bullshit. He's not. In fact, for that matter, the whole fight between Josh and Dick Masterson, I think that's just kabuki theater. I don't think that Josh and Dick Masterson are really mortal enemies now in epic combat. And I'll explain why in a second.
To call him Josh. Oh, fucking tears for you. You take this shit way too seriously. They take this shit way too seriously. The reality of it is that none of this shit matters. Oh my god, PPP was the fucking paragon of virtue for us. And now he's hanging out with you. You know why I'm hanging out with him? Because it's fucking funny. It's entertaining.
Okay. I call bullshit on this. Because, yeah, I get it, PPP. A lot of this is just performative. A lot of this is just entertainment. I'm not stupid. I get that. I'm not blind to that. But when you go on a stream and you're legitimately, not as an act, not as a LARP, not as a cutesy thing, and you go out of your way to clarify that you're being real, you're being serious, and you're making all these points because you believe in this in your heart of heart, and you base this on like Christian teachings or whatever, and even though you get that wrong, when you say that Dick Masterson needs to be killed, when you say that Digibro needs to be killed, and then you're going ahead and giving Josh and his pedophilic ways a pass, no, I'm calling bullshit. That is ridiculous. You can't just tell me that, oh yeah, we need to like punish Dick Masterson and Digibro in the most harshest ways we possibly can. But Joshua Moon? Nuh-uh. No, he's a good friend. Now it's entertainment, guys. Let's just forget that Joshua Moon harassed a 14-year-old girl when he was 20. Let's just forget that Joshua Moon has run at least 2, if not 3, CP websites. Let's not forget that. And when it comes to the whole lolly debate, Joshua Moon doesn't give a shit about lolly. He said so himself. And I'll prove it, because there was a post that was made back in January 10th of this year. Yeah, did you guys know that? PPP wouldn't tell you that because he's a bullshitter. But he's going to say that Digibro and Dax Herrera, oh yeah, shoot him. Let's go out and kill him, because that's very Christian, isn't it? This is what Null has to say. Let me expand this. What's his opinion? Remember base Null? Oh my gosh, Null's making all these good points. No, Null does not get that credit. And I'll tell you why he doesn't get the credit for that. He says here, on this topic, and let me give a bit of context here, is drawn child pornography, parentheses, lolly, bad? That's the thread title. There's a long topic of a discussion about it. And here's Null's big-brained, Sargon of Akkad-like take. We have laws covering photo... Actually, no. Let me not do that this way. We have laws covering photorealistic renderings of children, and we have laws protecting real children from sexual exploitation via artistic representations. We do not need more laws banning cartoons or text. We have a cartel selling children into sex in basically every large city in America and every small town in the Southwest. I could not possibly be compelled to care about this at all. I absolutely do not trust any sort of censorship committee to figure out how to differentiate between drawn pornography of an adult woman and a child. Because, face it, all Japs look like children until they're 40. Anyone who clutches pearls are fags, and the rationalization that there is some sort of lolicon to child rapist gateway has absolutely zero evidence to back that up. It's like all the pornography addicts on Gab pretending to be born-again Christians crusading against pornography now because they can't handle it, and they have problems. Fuck off. This is a bit of a necro. People were linking in chat to try and call Get the pedophile because he wrote an essay on this. So yeah. The whole thing about Josh being this hero, no. No, the reason that Josh is going hard on Dick Masterson, Digibro, and stuff like that now, remember, this was January 10th of this year, so he didn't have those opinions he has now. Something changed between January 10th and now. The reason he is going as hard as he is on these people, though, it doesn't matter what he fucking believes or thinks in his head. The whole presentation PR for this is because he wants to use the defense that, oh, see, guys, I can't be a pedophile because I am condemning pedophilia as harshly as I possibly can. You know, just like ministers or priests or other clergy, they can't be gay. The reason there's never been a case of any of these guys being gay because they all come down on homosexuality. So they can't possibly be homos themselves, despite the number of them have actually been caught in bathhouses or in degenerate sex parties or been outright pedophiles themselves. So this whole thing that Josh is doing, and the reason why it's a problem for PPP to be like, oh, this is just entertainment, guys, as he said in that clip, is that Josh is a pedophile, and he's probably got, like, doing some shady shit with other pedophiles that he networks. And PPP wants to clean this up, sweep it all away, and just dismiss me as an artist, which is why he blocks me on Discord. He doesn't respond to me when I call him out on Twitter, and he doesn't come on the show. He's making sure that this little skeleton in his closet doesn't come out. And the reason why he's going to bat for Josh, the real reason, he's scared of the Kiwis. That's it. I don't fear Kiwis. I make mincemeat out of them and make fun of them left and right. That doesn't bother me what they say about me. They can go ahead and do whatever they want. I don't give a shit. PPP though, nah, he's a coward and a little bitch. And if he wants me to change my mind about that, he can come on this show and he can go ahead and make his case to me, like he wants other people to come on his show and make their case to him when he calls them out. Okay, that was a bit of a rant. Gonna listen to some more?
How many videos did I give you? Railing against Josh and all his sins. You can't play those ones to get your happy dopamine hit of me shitting on Josh? Oh my god, he's not shitting on Josh every day. There's a guy who does that. I don't know if you've heard of him. His name is Vordrak. He does it way better than I ever could. Meanwhile, Dax Herrera in the timeline is exposed as having groomed Faith at his fucking Barbie dream mansion. So it's really helping his case there that he's not a pedophile or pedo enabler when he's picking up high school girls, bringing them to his mansion so that he can distribute them to members of his cartel.
Okay, that's some pretty wild shit there about those claims and stuff like that. About Dax Herrera. I don't know if that's actually going on. To my knowledge, Ethan Ralph arranged to meet with Faith in LA. I don't know if that actually took place there. I could be behind in my information here on this issue because I haven't gone through everything about that. So I don't know. But if that's the case, then that wouldn't surprise me if Dax was doing it, to be honest. Let's be real here. But backtracking a little bit, but what he said before that. Oh, well, you can just watch my older content of me shitting on Josh. Well, obviously, how am I supposed to take you seriously, PPP, when you're going ahead and taking for bat for him now? Were you shit posting when you shat on Josh back then? When you had when you're talking about celebrating Vordrak, didn't you call me out as just being like a Vordrak? Didn't your co-host, your friend Godwinson, call me out as being like a Vordrak clone or whatever, or just getting information from him, and as that being wrong, stuff like that? Didn't you say you talked to Josh and you were fine? Remember all that? And now you're saying, oh, you could just go back and watch my old stuff about it. But are you lying now or are you lying then? What's going on? Come on. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't add up. And it hurts your credibility. And it gets worse for you because you want to call out guys like Ralph, Dax Herrera, and others who take donations for what they do. And they lie to the right, is what you claim. They lie to the conservative audience, or the alt-right, or whichever group it is, and that's bad. They're not really honest with their beliefs and opinions. But you take donations, you take lemons, you take PayPal donations, and you're not being honest with your audience here, and that's a fact of the matter. And if you're gonna keep wouldn't that make yourself a grifter yourself?
As some sort of sick reward there. Pretty fucked up there, Dax, not gonna lie. I don't think that you're gonna be making it there, buddy, very longer. I'm just saying you probably should back off what you're doing because it's just gonna be a nuclear shitstorm apocalypse there. Nuclear shitstorm apocalypse. When you start getting into the pedo and the lolly question, crazy fuckers on both sides come out trying to destroy you and everybody else involved. Shit's gonna burn to the ground so fucking... You don't even understand what's about to happen. That's why I'm getting the fuck out the way. Fuck out the way. Fuck out the way. I want nothing to do with this shit. You have fucking Jerry Springer fucking...
Okay. Gonna have my own little X-file here. I'm going to also say at this particular X-File, it's extra X-File-y, because I'm biased here. I think PPP is walking away, taking a break, running away, because I'm calling him out. And I've been doing it consistently. And I think it's part of the fear. Because there's a reason he blocked me on Discord. There's a reason he won't respond to this. So him running away, very convenient timing. Maybe, now again, speculation on my part, maybe a little bit self-aggrandizing, I know. But I don't know. It seems legit. It does seem legit.
Hour with Mr. Vickers and his fucking depraved family, some Jeremy Kyle tier shit. You have fucking like Britney Spears, literal corn harvest, shaving her fucking head, Ethan Ralph. Like, this is what we're getting. And I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do anything. And in fact, I won't. I am not going to lift a fucking finger to do fucking anything. Am I going to restream Ethan Ralph? No. I don't have to do anything. It's over. I performed the lemon heist. I fucked you all. And you'll still support me. Because I'm the best motherfucker out there. And I'm not a grifter. I'm not a grifter.
I mean, but you call people grifters in the past for soliciting donations and stuff like that. So what's up with that, PPP? And you've also specifically called them out for not being honest and not being credible and not being sincere in what they actually believe in. And there's lots of hypocrisies that I've been pointing out. Little things here, little things there. Don't know, man. I mean, maybe this lemon thing is a bigger problem for you than you think.
I'm not credible. The reality of it is what I rail against is the motherfuckers who are doing sponsorships at the beginning of every video, telling you to like and subscribe, telling you to donate to their Patreon, donate to this, donate to that. I'm in pain. I'm struggling. I need this. I need that. I have cancer. Oh, I'm selling t-shirts. I'm selling hats. All this fucking bullshit. I don't do that fucking shit. If you want to give me fucking money, that's fine. It's always been fine. But I'm not going to get down and beg. Oh my God, please. Please, you guys have to. And this is my career and I need you to hit like and subscribe. People are tired of that shit. There's no ads. There could be ads. I could make shitty fucking news videos.
Honestly, like, PPP's weird relationship with money is just kind of odd. Also, Hank in chat says, just call him fat. Fat people's opinions are worthless. I don't know about that, but thinking it over, it's really hard for me to disagree with that sentiment. Not gonna lie about it.
And pretend and play the algorithm like you bitches. I just don't get it. You know, you fucking guys are losers. You're fucking losers, and you have zero faith in your own audience to support you unless you're begging every fucking day. My audience, I don't have to ask. They ask me. And if I want, I grace them with the ability to pay me. I give them the privilege of paying if they wish. But the reality is you're fucking stupid if you donate to anyone. If you donate to anyone, you're fucking stupid as fuck. Just retarded. If you donate to me, you're a fucking idiot and retarded. Retarded there. Straight the fuck up. You expect what? That I'll be your best friend? That I'll be your dad? Fucking pay pigs are retarded.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Pay piggies are retarded in that sense. Generally speaking, there's not much point, if any point, in giving donations like that. Something like a super chat, at least you get your message broadcast, but what do you really have to say that some rando on the internet is going to just like read off on a super chat that's worth giving money to? Like, the only time this would be worth it is if you could continue to like support the show and the upkeep of the show. But the implication with that is that when it comes to like doing that is the show would get better, but they never really do that anymore. They just take a paycheck and move on. And you know what? And it's kind of bizarre. And it's also weird to me that people are like shitting on Medicare for selling merchandise for this reason, because at least then you get something back. So,
are we going to give it to charity? Fuck no. Then the pay pigs would be enabled. I'm going to go to Cuba with Godwinson and Kraut. It's going to pay for all our vacations. So I don't give a shit. You know how cheap it is to go to Cuba now? So fuck you all. We're all going to be sitting in the white sand beach at Cayo Coco with fucking screwdrivers, mojitos, cerveza, all this shit. And Ethan Ralph's going to be stuck in Guntsville, Virginia with his child bride getting fucked over the sofa, raked over the coals for every last... Suck my cock. Suck my fucking cock. Look, There will still be PPP videos, for sure. But so far as me fucking having to cover every fucking thing this guy does, look, from time to time there'll be an update on Ethan Ralph. Gator thinks that I'm gonna go away. Gator thinks that it's over, that everybody's gonna... He's...
Okay, so note how he words this, like, oh, I'm taking a break from Ethan Ralph and this other stuff, and I'm just walking away and stuff from the Ethan Ralph drama. But he also adds, oh, there'll be an update about Ethan Ralph from time to time. Well, if he does one Monday, a video on Ralph Monday, and he does one on Tuesday, or if he does a video on Ralph Monday at 9 a.m., and a video on Ralph Monday at 3 p.m., and then a video on Tuesday, it's still from time to time, isn't it? There's no real guarantee. PPP's not, in any real sense, taking any break from the Gunt shit. He's going to keep covering it. He's going to keep on keeping you updated and posted. He's going to keep on going after Dax and all the other people in the network. It's why he had a slap fight with Gator today all day. It's why It's why he did this stream after he said, like, last week he wasn't going to do it. It's because he's really... But it gets worse, though, the way they... There's something else here that I want to highlight, because it gets worse.
He's just fucking kidding himself. He's just kidding himself. Gator is fucking kidding himself. Get fucked, buddy. Get fucked. It is what it is. I'm going to do wrestling shows with Ghoul. Do you know why? Because I like to do wrestling shows with Ghoul. I like to talk about wrestling. And you know what? I don't think Ghoul's a pedophile. And I'm going to stand by my friends who are accused of fake shit, my internet friend, until it's proven otherwise. And then if it is turned out that he fucking fucked children like a sick degenerate, then I'll personally go to Minnesota and fucking rape him in the prison that he's held in. I'll personally commit a crime in the state of Minnesota, make sure that I'm sent to the same holding block, and I'll rape Ghoul for the entirety of his career.
Okay, no, like, seriously, like, this is something I don't get as part of the bit. PPP wants to act like this big tough guy. Like I'm, like, super scrawny. I can't, like, get into any physical fight. But I guarantee, if I was to land one punch on his gun, he would, like, be out of breath instantly and fall over. Like, that'd be the end of it. This guy isn't going to any place, anywhere, not even as a joke, not even as a hypothetical. In no context is PPP ever going to, quote-unquote, go to Minnesota and rape somebody and go to jail for a felony. No, that's not fucking happening. Like, who's he trying to kid with this shit? No one's laughing. No one's buying this shit. I don't get it. Like, you don't have to do the stupid tough guy act. It's dumb. It's not a good look. Like, I mean, the other shit, yeah, there's merit to other bits that PPP does, but this thing is just cringe.
In prison. That's the reality. But I don't think that that's the case, and I think he'll be let off there, guys. So I wouldn't be too worried.
Also, wait, is PPP in contact with another pedophile? Big think. Mr. Dong says, I think PPP would curb stomp you, JMK, only if he got a body slam. If he did a body slam Snorlax style, then yes, I'd be done. I could not withstand that weight. The problem, though, for PPP in that situation is that he can't jump. Like, he's just physically impossible. His weight of his own body nearly collapses him down to the bottom. So, like, honestly, the only way that I'd lose is if I was, like, asleep, and then he kind of, like, just crushed me under his own weight that way. That's it. And no, there won't be any fucking fights. Like, PPP's a retard who would play with the idea of fighting Ralph and be like, oh, I'm serious about this fight. I'm going to fight Ethan Ralph. Ethan Ralph challenged me to a fight. I'm not just going to laugh at him. I'm actually going to show up. Dude, grow up. Like, except challenging people to fights on the internet, unless you're like an MMA fighter or something like that, is gay. Accepting fights on the internet, again, unless you're an MMA fighter challenging another MMA fighter or something like that, is also gay. Like, I am never going to entertain the idea of entering fights. Fights are cringy as fuck. And no, it's this idea, it's just stupid. So forget it. What else is in there? JMK is a black belt. I'm neither confirming nor denying that. Wrong Think Leaf says the FBI tied Goals IP to hosting toddler stuff. Yeah, I heard about that. There's some like accusations there. It could be the case that he was involved with that. I know that Gahul was like was an 8chan board owner. Frankly, at this point, I wouldn't trust any board owner just on principle from 8chan. 8chan seemed to be like one of the most horrible fucking sites that was ever made. Hank says you need to talk about the race. You need to bulk up for the race war. I hope there is no race war. But okay, so Bronx has been pressing me all night to know what PPP's biggest crime is. PPP's biggest crime. Probably not having any self-respect when it comes in terms of Godwinson, I'd say. Godwinson will regularly shit on PPP and like PPP won't do anything back. He's kind of like Godwinson's little bitch. I'd say that's his biggest crime. At least in my opinion, anyway. Slash Cow blown the fuck out. That wasn't really I should clarify that. The thing about Slash Cow is that I liked Slash Cow for this reason. Yes, they did messed up things that I don't approve of, like the whole doxing bullshit. There was and stuff like that. But Slash Cow truly gave no fucks. Like it wasn't like Kiwi Farms. See, on Cow, you're a nobody. Everybody's a nobody. Nobody has an account there. Everyone's anonymous. So there would be no point in gaining clout and gaining notoriety. Unlike with the Kiwis, where they're all about gaining clout and notoriety, getting appearances on Nick Rekieta's show, getting shout-outs from Nick Rekieta, and other various e-celebs as well. It just happens to be that Nick Rekieta is the big-ticket item at the moment. Also, clout amongst each other. Noel is using the website to give himself this big cult of personality. That's why everyone's sucking Noel's cock and they don't make threads on him. The Kiwis are all about being the best person in the popularity contest that is the internet. And yeah. So when it came to Slash Cow, I actually enjoyed it. There was a bunch of memes on there that were pretty funny. And again, Cow gave no fucks. Yeah, it was gross. It was pretty dumb. There was a lot of dumb, spammy shit posters on that board from my memory. But at the end of the day, the board was actually entertaining to read. And I can't say the same for Kiwi Farms because they're just high on their own fumes as they morally grandstand and try to make themselves little mini e-celebs. And it's pathetic. Let me see if there's some other comments in chat. The VODs I do are my own opinion. They just happened at the time to be a narrative. Let me see some other comments. What has PPP done to save the white race? I don't know if PPP's political views align that way. He did kind of touch on some of like some race issues, but I don't know if PPP himself is like a white nationalist or anything like that. I know Surfer is, or at least Surfer presents himself as one. But PPP himself, I'm not sure where his views are on that. PPP seems more of like a conservative type person, or at least that seems to be the politics he exudes. See if there's any other comments here, because a lot of comments here passing by quickly. Okay, I think that's enough for now. Let me finish this video.
Robinson, PPP don't do the show with Gahul. Well, fuck it. Fuck it. I am gonna do that show. There will be fucking, there will probably be Cooking with Surfers. We're never gonna go away entirely. But again, I'm taking a fucking vacation. I'm taking a break. Like, I won. I don't need to do anything else. Other motherfuckers are dabbing on this guy. I'm glad to let them have their fun. I don't have to be some fucking grand poobah king who tells everybody what to do and directs their actions. There will be This Week in Cuties at some point as well. Basically, nothing's really going to change, but I might take a...
Okay, so first I want to address PPP, and then I'll answer a question from chat. What the problem here for PPP, and this is a point I've been wanting to make, is that people don't care. Okay, 99.99% of people don't care about PPP's other content. I'm sure that Cooking with Surfer has its own cult following of avid chefs who want to cook various foods for their morbidly obese fat friends and stuff like that. I'm sure that Canadians give a shit about politics, allegedly, and they want to watch This Week in whatever the show's fucking called. And I'm sure that, people want to see Ronnie, what was it? The stupid reviewer character he plays. And I'm sure that, what was the other thing? And I'm sure also that, and I'm sure that there's a cult following for each of these little niche shows. But the reason people tune in to watch PPP is to watch him shit on Ralph. And that's the reality. Shit on Ralph and or other e-celebs. Which is fine, by the way. That's what I do. I do this show where I rant about e-celebs. It's 99% ranting about e-celebs. In fact, PPP probably does more content that's not related to that than I do. However, I don't pretend that people aren't coming here for any other reason. People don't care about my hot takes on, for the most part. Maybe they care a little bit, but people don't care about my hot takes on the political issues. People don't care about, my big brain philosophical stuff. If I was really interested in pursuing that kind of content or any other avenue than what I do on this channel, I would just, move on. I would no longer use the branding I do now. I would not, be using the same YouTube channel, Twitter, etc. I would just disappear, go off to a different community, and pursue interest in those communities. But PPP isn't doing that. PPP is thinking he's hot shit because he's such a great personality. In fact, let me show a clip. Let me play this. Let me get a clip real quick. This will just take a moment. And as I get that, I'm going to answer a question from chat that was asked a little bit ago. Someone asked in chat, what do I think of Nick Fuentes? I think Nick Fuentes is probably a homosexual. I don't know if he slept with Lolly Socks, although the whole relationship with Lolly Socks is weird regardless. I do know that Nick Fuentes co-signed various tweets from trannies. There's that. And I know that he also had a Catboys Discord channel. Yeah, that was true. And when I asked Nick Fuentes about that, because I had a little voice conversation with him once, and other people were present for that, he kicked me from the call when I really pressed that issue on him. So the evidence would suggest that Nick Fuentes is a homosexual. He didn't do anything with Cammy, lol. Yeah, well, here's the thing. There's no real strong evidence to suggest that he did anything with Cammy, but it doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, why did Nick Fuentes make those tweets at Traps, put his name on those tweets with Traps, and why did he have a channel in his Discord dedicated to Traps? He's gay. The guy doesn't have a girlfriend. He's a confirmed bachelor. And and he's not putting himself, and he why do you think he shits on women? It's because he can't get any, because he's a homosexual. So I think so that's pretty much my opinion about the guy. I guess I could go into his politics and stuff like that, but why would I want to go through Nick Fuentes' politics? He's a white nationalist. He tries to pretend, I'm a white majority, not a white nationalist. No, you are. You're a white nationalist. You blindly follow Trump as though he's the great savior, except every few months you change your mind and say, oh no, I was wrong about Trump. But then a few months later, oh guys, I love Trump again. And it's just, it's retarded. And also he networks with Ralph, and he thinks that Ralph is a good guy still. So no, Nick Fuentes is just he's a useless piece of shit. And if you want, and he wants to I guess maybe he's going places, but none of them are any good. Like, maybe one day he'll be the next Tucker Carlson. Some people, I heard one big-brained individual say that once. But yeah, I don't care for Nick Fuentes much. Thoughts on the Irony Bros and the Right Stuff? Are you aware of all the fucked up things they did? I don't have any strong opinions about the Irony Bros. I don't know much about them. Beardson and I've seen a couple of their episodes. I recall. They seem to be like tongue in cheek, so I don't know which is real and which is not real. I honestly don't care for them. They go with the whole ethno-nat crowd and stuff like that. I'm not really a big fan of that. If you haven't picked up by now. Let's see. If he goes on Ralph again, then he's totally lost. Well, that's the thing. All the alt-right guys are still networking with Ralph, so Ralph isn't done. He's not out of the game. They still want to use Ralph because he's like the only show they can... For some reason, these edgy Wignat guys need to have some kind of media relevance and prominence. So they network with Ralph, get platformed on the show. It's just... They're losers. They're pathetic. This is the best the white race has to offer? Come on. These guys are just... If these guys, like, honestly, if you need Ralph in the equation in order to save the white race needs to die. That's my answer to these types of guys. There's other comments in the chat I've seen that may have been overlooking. Let's see. How does he explain Capoe Cami, John? I don't know. It's not a very good explanation, anything I've heard. Going on Ralph's show and backing that horrible documentary was meh. Yeah. He married one, for Christ's sake. Not sure what that's in reference to. I'm guessing it's not an incel, he gets laid by dudes. Lol. So can anyone tell me what has been going on with PPP? I was just pointing out some hypocrisies PPP's been up to. Particularly when it comes to Josh. Like, saying that Dax Herrera and Digibro need to be killed, but Josh, a known pedophile, he gets a pass. That's really hypocritical. As is his whole stance on money and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm gonna try to wrap this up because I think the stream's gone on for quite some time, so let me finish this.
A month or 2 months off. I'm just letting you know that right now. I honestly wasn't even gonna make this video, but today they had to be like, oh, look at him, he's doing the lemon heist. And it's like, oh, it's just very funny. It's just very funny. You used to be my hero, man. So, yeah. It's always about the content. The reality is, if these guys made entertaining shows, people would give a fuck. But their shows suck. They're boring as fuck. Gator can't even hold 40 viewers. Has something like 5,000 followers on DLive. Can't even get 40 viewers. Same thing with that Peyton cunt and all these fucking boring jabronis there. I can fire this up, no warning, nothing. Get 150, 184. Just wiping my ass. I could get that many viewers. Fuck super chats as well. It's just...
By the way, this is something I've noticed that a lot of these e-celebs do. They say they care about the numbers, but then they make everything into a big numbers game. I mean, there's certain morons that I could call out right now who have been trying to, like, flex their numbers on me that I could just go ahead and flex back on them. But I'm not going to do that. And if that sounds pathetic, given that I have, like, less than 100 viewers right now, it is. Like, none of the numbers shit matters. It doesn't matter if you have, like, 3 people watching you or if you have 300 people or 3 million people watching you. It should be about the content, the substance of it. You know, whether or not it's informative or entertaining or it's good quality, etc. It shouldn't be about, oh yeah, I'm the coolest kid in the block here. Look at how many views I have. I have so many comments. I am such a good e-celeb. You only have 40 viewers on your stream, Gator? Why can't you be like me, PPP? I could just run up a live stream and get 200 people in here like that. I am such a big deal. In fact, how big a deal I am, Gator? I'll tell you how much of a big deal I am.
They want me because I'm the hottest property in this sphere right now.
I can listen to that all day. Let's listen to that again.
They want me because I'm the hottest property in this sphere right now.
Man. Dude, stop making this into like a fucking dick measuring contest. It's pathetic.
Bullshit. Like, the reality of it is, who the fuck would trust DLive with the fucking info and all that? Look, just wait. DLive is a scam, boys. Don't ever fucking use it. Don't ever trust them. It's a Chinese fucking scam from Jump Street. See, this is the new. It's the robbery. It's the heist. The fucking lemon heist.
Okay. I think we've seen enough of PPP dancing. And then I think he just like, let's see, does he do anything besides dance? Nah, I don't really care. But yeah, when it comes to this whole like, oh, well, DLive's a scam, I don't know, probably, I don't know. If it's a scam, why are you using it? Why are you taking donations? I don't think DLive's a scam. I don't really see any strong evidence of that. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Who knows? He probably just pulled that out of his ass. I just find it pathetic that this guy is getting on his high horse, getting all egotistical and stuff like that. It's just annoying. All right, I'm gonna read a few more of these. Medicare got a nice home he saved up well. That is the rumor from Kiwi Farms, and when it comes to Kiwi Farms on anything gym related, I don't trust it at all, one bit. I don't think Kiwi Farms ever got Jim's docs. I think Jim just rolled with it so no one would actually find his actual docs. Because think about it. If they found his actual docs, Jim would be like exposed on like the media and stuff like that. There wouldn't be any kind of like this, oh, well, he just disappears or whatever. No, it's just, JMK, do you fucking know about anything or question marks? No, I know absolutely nothing. It just never knew anything ever. Let's see. Oh, someone else also brought up a valid counterpoint to where the numbers don't matter. Yeah, in terms of how good the chat is, numbers can matter, because if it's a fast-moving chat, it's more enjoyable to stay. But if the numbers are kind of low, then it becomes less enjoyable. So I guess in that sense it could be. But as far as the show's quality goes, I think that's dependent on the host, how entertaining, how informative he is, etc. Someone asks, why is JMK scared of Spectre? I'm not. I've invited Spectre onto this show 109 times at least. And every single time he's rejected every single invitation. So I don't have any fear of him. He's welcome on the show anytime he wants. Hell, for that matter, if he wants to confront me directly, there's a link in the description for the Discord. He can click that and join it. So no, I have no fucking fear. Spectre, bring that faggot on here. I'll go ahead and say I'll confront him on whatever issue he wants to talk about. Let's see. Extra doubt on medical stuff. Medicare is pretty disingenuous. Yeah, I don't trust Medicare myself these days. By the way, I told PPP to use eLive in May, and he said he wouldn't use it because it was Chinese before defending YouTube for being Jewish owned. I don't know. That's kind of a weird one. Like, people like to scapegoat this or that group all the time. Like, Are there Jews who have done some messed up things? Yes. Does that mean most or all Jews are, like, automatically untrustworthy? I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I don't like certain aspects of the Jewish religion, but I'm not going to blanketly cast an entire group of people like that. And as far as China goes, yeah, China is a messed up country. Does that mean every single Chinese-owned company is automatically fraudulent? No. So yeah, that is kind of a weird one. Well, that is kind of depressing to see how PP has become exactly what he was against. Agreed. Medicare is a broken man. He's just obsessed with Corona and riots these days. All he does is tweet. Yeah, I don't get what's up with Jim. I don't. Like, if he wants out, fine, but just fucking lose the Twitter and drop the whole subscribe star and YouTube membership thing. Like, if you're gonna leave, do it. I'm tired of these people constantly saying goodbye by the door, waving goodbye, and never ever actually exiting. Bronx says to shoot Noel in the head in Minecraft. I think that would be an excellent quote-unquote Minecraft thing to do. Sargoy says, honestly, Vidya, you never want to get that close with these people, especially PPP and Godwitson. Laugh my ass off. Ghost of Nicolo says, used to be my hero, JMK. Okay. Jade drawings? I have no idea what that's about. Actually, yeah, that's a good question with the Jade drawings. I do have my speculation that Jade at some point dumped Medicare, because you haven't heard of her for a while. You haven't really seen any drawings of her. It could just be a whole LARP. And again, I don't think Jim's ever been doxxed. So I don't trust the thing about, like, Kiwi Farms information on him. Okay. Alright. That settles everything, I think. I think I went over everything I had wanted to go over. If you feel I've gotten anything wrong in this stream, leave a comment. You can always correct me in anything I say. I'm always trying to get everything as accurate as I can. If otherwise, I hope you found the stream entertaining. Peace out. Oh, one last thing. No, I will not mod Sargoy. You guys can't tell me what to do. Alright, that said, have a good night.